Russia hit a warehouse in a northeastern district of Ukraine's capital Kiev early Saturday morning. According to Associated Press, a fire broke out in a non-residential building in one location, while debris from intercepted missiles fell in an open area at another site, damaging windows in nearby buildings, Ukraine's State Emergency Service wrote on the message app Telegram. Dozens of firefighters were deployed, and emergency services said they also deployed a helicopter to extinguish the fire. At least one person died and 10 were injured, said Pablo Petrov, Ukraine Emergency Services spokesperson. Later, Timur Tkachenko, head of Kiev's city military administration, said 2 people were killed and 9 were wounded in a ballistic missile attack in Kiev in the early hours of Saturday. Elsewhere, in the Dnipropetrovsk region, 2 people were killed and 7 wounded, acting regional governor Vladyslav Haivanenko said, adding that apartment buildings, private homes, an outbuilding, a shop and at least 1 vehicle were damaged in the strikes. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia launched 9 missiles and 62 drones, of which air defenses intercepted 4 missiles and 50 drones. In Russia, the country's defense ministry said its air defenses shot down 121 Ukrainian drones over Russia overnight.
Ай-яй-яй. Зай, ты видишь?
Да ну нахуй.
Наверное, в том озере будет брать фото. Пожалуйста, тоже.
В цілому ми працюємо в Дарницькій, Деснянській та Дніпровській районі міста Києва. Станом на зараз всі пожежі, у нас станом на зараз на 11 годину, станом на зараз всі пожежі повністю локалізовано. Рятувальники працюють над ліквідацією пожеж, до ліквідації залучено понад 200 рятувальників, також майже 60 одиниць техніки працювала і авіація ДСНС України, також залучена роботизована техніка для спрощення роботи рятувальників. На жаль, 10 осіб постраждало, 3 з них госпіталізовано, 1 особа, на жаль, загинула.
The Riazan oil refinery, one of the 4 largest enterprises in the industry in Russia, was forced to suspend operations at one of its main facilities after a Ukrainian drone strike. This was reported by Reuters, citing two sources in the oil industry. The attack occurred last Wednesday, October 22, after which a fire broke out at the facility. According to sources, the primary oil refining unit, which accounted for about a quarter of the plant's total capacity, was urgently shut down. Its capacity was 4 million tons of oil per year, equivalent to 80,000 barrels per day. The Ukrainian General Staff confirmed that its defense forces struck the Riazan oil refinery. Kiev notes that the strikes on Russian energy infrastructure are intended to increase pressure on Moscow, which is disrupting peace talks. The attack also forced several neighboring units to shut down. One source specified that these included the reformer, vacuum gas oil hydrotreating, and catalytic cracking. Despite the damage, the refinery continues to process oil, but at significantly lower volumes than before. The Riazan oil refinery is owned by Rosneft, which declined to comment. As of 2024, the refinery had processed 13.1 million tons of oil, producing 2.3 million tons of gasoline, 3.4 million tons of diesel fuel, and 4.2 million tons of fuel oil. Russian authorities previously acknowledged that attacks on fuel infrastructure were one of the causes of fuel shortages in several Russian regions, as well as in the occupied territories. Following the current attack, experts predict further difficulties in supplying the market with petroleum products. Earlier, a drone strike on the Novo Kuibyshevsk oil refinery in the Samara region resulted in a complete shutdown of oil refining. The attack occurred on the night of October 19. The damage was so severe that the refinery was forced to completely shut down primary oil refining. The resulting fire disabled two units, the AVT-11, designed for processing 18,900 tons per day, and the smaller AVT-9, with a capacity of 4,700 tons per day. The Novo Kuibyshevsk oil refinery is part of the Rosneft group of companies in the Samara region and has a processing capacity of approximately 8.3 million tons of crude oil per year. In 2023, the refinery produced over 1 million tons of gasoline and approximately 1.5 million tons of diesel fuel. According to sources, the company will not be able to resume production until early November, if the consequences of the fire and damage to equipment can be eliminated. Earlier, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine confirmed the strike on this Russian refinery. At the time, Ukrainian military reported a massive fire and damage to the primary oil refining unit. It was noted that the refinery was involved in supplying the Russian occupation army.